Number 10 is an Olympian. One half of American Alpha. And someone, if he didn't have one of the worst names in wrestling today, would easily start to connect. And it bothers me so much how horrible he's being booked right now. In case you haven't figured it out, number 10 is Chad Gable. Not Shorty G. That name can go straight to hell. I hate that name. I hate calling them Shorty G. That is one of the dumbest, most ridiculous names anyone can ever have. But we'll get to that in just a second. Do you know what it means to be an Olympian? Let me tell you what Olympian means. For example, Kurt Angle was an Olympian. He was an Olympic gold medalist. You know what that means? That means he was competing against people across nations. That means he is one of the best in the world, as in ever, to do whatever the hell he was doing, which was wrestling. Yeah. And when Kurt Angle was in WWE, for those 6 years, they gave him everything, as they should, because he's one of the best wrestlers. The only thing that he didn't do was win the Royal Rumble, which I eventually thought was going to happen. He probably would have won it if he stayed, but he left. But man, when Angle was on it, he could do it all. He was funny. He can make you cry. He can make you hate him. That man was having some of the best matches on TV with everybody. And then on top of that, look at his resume. World champ, main event at WrestleMania, mate Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, Chris Benoit, John Cena, freaking The Rock, Austin. He made all these boys tap out. So, Kurt Angle is a legend, Hall of Famer. When you look at the resume that Kurt Angle did, and had, the quickest
Where in the world is
San Diego.
Imagine if they made Kurt Angle into Baldy K.
I mean, it just says it right there. But back to what I'm saying. Imagine if they had given that exact same booking to Chad Gable. Imagine that. Because based off of who he was on NXT, Chad Gable is hilarious. Y'all, Chad Gable is one of the best. Give me 1 second, y'all. I don't know why feel like my computer's going a little slow right there. I think it was because something was running in the background. Alright. Chad Gable, like Kurt Angle, on NXT was funny. He was charismatic. He had a catchphrase. That man was making people lose their minds. One of the best babyface hot tags alongside Jason Jordan, and one of the best tag teams. Could talk, could wrestle, have a good match with anybody. I thought for sure when they moved him up to SmackDown in 2016, they were going to give him a rocket push. I said, oh yeah, he's going straight to the moon. Because the first thing they did was put the championships on American Alpha, which was smart. And I thought, alright, well, clearly they're going to have to split them up and Chad Gable's going to be the single star. Right? No. Guess what they did? They put him with Shelton Benjamin. Okay, I'm cool with that. What did they do with that tag team? Nothing. They just kept them off TV. That was it. He was stuck in catering. And then only brought him out to get his ass kicked. The complete opposite of what they did with Kurt Angle. No segments. No, Jimmy Quack Corner, I don't care. Not, I'm just a sexy Kurt. Sexy Kurt. None of that. You have the modern day Kurt Angle here. And the booking that he was given was the complete opposite of what they gave to Kurt Angle. Which was hilarious to me because in 2019, when they just said, you know what, we don't know what the hell to do with this guy, we're going to put him on 205 Live. He's yours. Within a week of being on 205 Live, he set the wrestling world on fire when he had that match with Jack Gallagher. He had 2 matches with Jack Gallagher. set the entire wrestling world on fire. He was so good. He made such an impression. They moved him back up to SmackDown. And they put him in that King of the Ring tournament. Remember that? And his matches were getting natural babyface reactions. They were booking him like Chad Gable, and he was getting over. Right? So then, when he was getting over, you would think, all right, they're going to capitalize on this. They're going to make him a star. They're going to make him someone to take seriously. Right? You know what they did? They changed his goddamn name to Shorty G. And they made him embrace it like it's a good thing. This poor man, you can just hear the moment where his career hit rock bottom. This man came out with a smile on his face. You know what? I am short. And I'm not just short. Oh, no. I'm Shorty G. And he never recovered. He never recovered. He's done. This man's done. It doesn't matter what they try to do with him. It's a done deal. His career in WWE is over. The only way you can salvage him now is if he leaves. He has to leave and go somewhere else and start all the way back over again. He's ruined. They have literally killed any chances of Chad Gable. And I'm not calling him by that stupid ass name. But they have ruined any chances of him being taken seriously ever. I mean, even now, like this past week, he just got his ass kicked. Making dumb babyface decisions, helping out Corbin because he called him Chad. And then he's like, oh, I need this money. I need this money. And so I'm gonna attack Matt Riddle because Corbin said he's gonna give me this money. And then he attacks Matt Riddle, but fails, and then he doesn't get any money. And then it was all a ruse, and it just looks so bad. He looks so bad. I am beyond just. I can't understand like what the hell is wrong with them. Instead of putting the screws to Jason Jordan, no offense, I like him, but doing this to Jason Jordan and then putting Gable in the spot that Jason got, maybe Kurt could have Chad Gable as his son, which we would have bought, by the way, and would have been an excellent story. Imagine that. Imagine Chad Gable as Kurt Angle's son. He's not really Kurt Angle's son, but neither is Jason Jordan. So what? You buy that more than Jason Jordan? You would have been like, yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I believe that. I can see that. I guarantee you he would have taken that shit and gotten over with it. Oh, them can't be son and father segments. Oh man. A freaking Olympian. And he's a goddamn joke. Literally. Shorty G. Number 10 on my list. I dare you to find me someone that you can replace with this guy. Oh, God. And here's the last thing I want to say about this whole thing. You want to know why I really hate that Shorty G name? When you look at Chad Gable, in case you're blind, he's not short. He's not short. He ain't short. He's average height. He's 5'10". If you want to think he was like 4'11", okay. But he's 5'10". He's average height. But Vince McMahon, you're not like the Undertaker. You're not like the Big Show. You're not like Hulk Hogan. You're not like Randy Orton. You're just a little bitty pipsqueak. Because, Vince is like, what, 6'4"? And if you're not taller than Vince, then you're short. let's move on to number 9. So, getting away from Chad Gable, we go on to someone that, in my opinion, has had all the promise in the world to just get over doing what he was doing in the Indies. If he had just brought that exact same kind of style to the Indies, from the Indies to WWE, I think he could have actually done something special. Within, I dare say, a year of being on the main roster, they killed any chances of this guy ever being taken seriously as a main event player. It was real quick. Within, I dare say, within two days or 2 shows, it was over with. Number 9 on my list is Ricochet. So, someone explained to me how Ricochet, who literally is literally a world champion in every other promotion that he's been to, can go from being one of the highest acts on NXT to being a jobber on main event. Losing to Riddick Moss. How? Actually, no, don't answer that question. I know exactly how. I did a video on this already. Ricochet's biggest problem is that he's too nice. Ricochet is the kind of guy that just wants to be friends with everybody, that doesn't want to rock the boat, that's gonna, do whatever you need him to do, that's going to, hey, what you need me to say, what you need me to do, I'll say it however you want me to say it. He's never gonna, speak up about what he feels is the issue. And people like Vince McMahon preys on people like Ricochet. He preyed on Kofi Kingston for 11 years. Now, Kofi Kingston won some championships, to be fair, but he never really got a chance to be a main attraction until 2019. When he pushed him as a main event player, he got over. Kofi Mania ran wild. With Ricochet, I'm scared, and to be fair, Ricochet still needs to work on certain aspects about himself, like microphone skills and how to hold a character, which we'll get into a different video. But what got Ricochet over, what made him popular to begin with on the Indies, was what he did inside the ring. Was the incredible, unbelievable stunts that he pulled. I mean, for fuck's sake, on NXT, he did a 450 to the outside and landed on his feet in front of Velveteen Dream. Remember that? Remember when he did the double rotation moonsault off the cell at War Games 2018? Remember that? When was the last time he even attempted a freaking double rotation moonsault? Remember when he got super kicked mid moonsault by Adam Cole? Like, god damn it, dude. Like, all the shit that he did on NXT, I don't think he's done any of that other than the 630 on the main roster. Everything that we feared was going to happen with Ricochet has happened. We said to ourselves, okay, well, he's not going to be able to do the stuff that he used to do on the Indies. And it's funny that they let him do it for a while. Like, he was able to do some of the things. We saw it here and there, and then he just kind of stopped. But then he fought Brock Lesnar. And to our knowledge, and again, I don't know what the deal was with him and Vince, but to our knowledge, a lot of the bad booking comes from Vince just not liking him, which makes sense. And I honestly don't understand what he doesn't see in Ricochet. I would look at this guy and go, that's your human highlight reel, man. That's your Jeff Hardy. That's your Rey Mysterio. That's your Shelton Benjamin. All these men who got over because of what they did inside the ring. But with Ricochet, we're just going to go, okay, sorry, you can't do that no more. So now what does he have? Nothing! He doesn't have anything now. He just feels like everybody else. And that's so disappointing to me. It's gotten to the point now where I just wish he goes back to NXT. Seriously, like, just send him back to NXT so he can at least be himself again. Like Finn Balor. Matter of fact, send him and Cedric back to NXT. That's another one that they ruined. If you want to put that on your top 10, I'm not going to stop you. But you had a guy like Ricochet who was having some of the best matches on both shows with AJ Styles, Adam Cole, and all of them. You get him to the main roster. You had all this momentum behind him. You changed his entrance. You had him job to Brock Lesnar. Then you had him lose to Burdick Moss. You fucked him up. You fucked him up. To the point now where he needs to change the character. He has to start. You literally, like Chad Gable, have to start over again from scratch to help Ricochet get over again. And I think that's a goddamn shame. I hate it. I hate it. Alright, so number 8 is... this is the one that I'm pretty sure really pisses WWE off. Now, the reason why I have these first 3 lower on the list is because it's one of those things where you go, man, like, these guys could have been main event players in WWE. Now it's like it probably won't ever happen. Number 8 is someone that fits that bill, but is already a main event player in a different company. And he comes from a royalty, a certain family heritage. And I am proud to be a fan of his kingdom. Number 8 is Cody Rhodes. WWE is kicking themselves for letting this boy get away. Now, I'm pretty sure they offered him a lot of money to stay. But because of their horrendous booking, this man had to go away. And this is what kills me about Cody. This is one of those wrestlers that I get angry every time I talk about how they booked him. When he first got to WWE, he did the whole tag team with Hardcore Holly, then he joined Legacy with Randy Orton, and then he split off. And they gave him some of the, well, I won't say that they're the worst gimmicks of all time, but they're certainly gimmicks that would kill a career. He got the dashing Cody Rhodes gimmick, the pretty boy gimmick that later got picked up by Miz and other people. But, made it work. He got that shit over. So what did they do? They gave him the grotesque gimmick, which I thought was a nice evolution. A very nice evolution of the dashing Cody Rhodes gimmick. And didn't quite go anywhere with it. They gave him the IC title. That was nice. Then it just kind of floundered. He started losing matches. A lot of matches. Then they brought him back as emancipated Cody Rhodes in 2012. Which I thought was like the height of the evolution of his character. They didn't do anything with him. Started losing matches. Lost to Christian. Then they gave him a random ass tag team with... They put him in a random ass tag team with Damien Sandow. We'll talk about him in a second. Spoiler alert. And they gave him a mustache gimmick. Got that over. Then they broke them up. Then they put him with his brother, Goldust. And to me, when they put him with Goldust, I told myself, finally, this is the vehicle to get Cody Rhodes into that main event scene. What I didn't realize was, oh wait, he's being written by idiots. So instead of doing Cody versus Goldust at WrestleMania, they did it at, was that No Way Out or Elimination Chamber? Wherever the show was before Mania. And they created another gimmick called Stardust, which flopped, I dare say, almost immediately after they broke the team up. But they stuck him in that role. And they stuck him in that role. And he was stuck in that role. And it wasn't until he left that he was away from Cody. What the hell? What the hell was that run with Cody Rhodes? And then they wonder, well, how come he was never a world champ? What the hell happened? I don't get it. How do you book this guy? You let him be himself. That's what New Japan did. That's what PWG did. That's what GFW did. That's what AEW did. And he was a main event player in literally all of them. Is one now. It baffles me that they had a main event player in Cody Rhodes, and all they had to do was just let him be himself. That's all they did. They did everything else. They get dashing, mustache, grotesque, Stardust / Goldust. They had him do literally everything on the bracket except for be yourself. ROH even did that. ROH, hey Cody, be yourself. And what happens when Cody Rhodes starts being himself? Oh, he sells out Madison Square Garden. Huh. Idiots. Absolutely, he deserves to be on anyone's top 10. A man that really, what he's doing right now in AEW could be doing in WWE. But because they're idiots, that ain't happening. But yeah, for sure. And it was Fastlane, thank you. It wasn't Elimination Chamber, it was Fastlane 2015. Was Cody in TNA? I guess he was in TNA too. Wow, look at that. Alright, so that's number 8. Number 7. Oh, this one hurts. This one hurt me because I went back and watched his run in NXT, and oh my god, you almost want to cry when you see how amazing this man was from 2013 to 2016 in NXT. Then he gets to the main roster, and almost immediately he becomes irrelevant. It was instantaneous how irrelevant he became. It hurt me. It hurt my soul. It really did. And it wasn't until he turned heel that he got some notoriety, and then he stopped being relevant again. Number 7 is El Generico, aka Sami Zayn. At one point, the biggest babyface in wrestling. I dare say it. I feel like after Bryan got injured and left to take care of himself in 2014, Sami Zayn became the biggest babyface in wrestling. That's without question. No other wrestler in the world was better than Sami Zayn. He was the man's man. And his matches, the work he was putting on in those matches, oh my goodness. I implore you, pick a match from any NXT takeover that involves Sami Zayn. If you need me to pick one for you, Neville versus Sami Zayn. Adrian Neville versus Sami Zayn. Our Evolution, 2014. Goodness, I am baffled at how well that match was worked. Someone just said in the live chat, Cesaro versus Sami Zayn, 2 out of 3 falls. Yes, I even encourage you to watch their was it Rival or Arrival? NXT Arrival, right? 2014. NXT Arrival, 2014. Watch that match too. One of the best performers in the world. One of the best wrestlers in the world. And they don't know what the fuck to do with him. You want to know why I know they don't know what the fuck to do with him? Because they have one of the best wrestlers in the world as a freaking manager. He was a manager. What? That's like taking Rey Mysterio and making him a mouthpiece. What is wrong with you? What? A man that is a king at psychology. A man that understands how to make fans hate him as a heel, but also love him as a babyface. You got this man that can do crazy stunts, that can do it all, but doesn't need to. Who got the WWE style down to a T, that got it down to a science. And at a time when you're lacking baby faces, you have someone that could literally step into that role like it's nothing. Like if they brought Sami Zayn back, I dare say next week, and turned him babyface. Yeah, I don't think I'm being facetious when I say this, or I'm making hyperbole. He would most likely be the top babyface. Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Because it's on SmackDown, right? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Because although the Fiend is like the bigger star, Fiend is not really supposed to be a babyface. He's a tweener. I'm talking about pure blood babyface. Is it purebred or pure blood? Purebred babyface. He would get over instantly. But they're not going to do that. You know, like I know that they're going to bring him back as a heel. It makes no goddamn sense. You're doing the complete opposite of what the hell he should be doing. I think he's a good heel, but at least if you're going to turn him heel, make him wrestle. Not only is he no longer a face, he's a manager. Which is dumb to me. Oh, it kills me. Oh my god, that hurts me. That hurts me. And to be fair, some of that also is a result of him being hurt and getting injuries. But a lot of the times, it really has nothing to do with that. He just has nothing to do. He even said it on Twitter, like, they don't have anything for him. Also, let me ask you this. During his entire run in WWE, ask me how many championships he's won. One championship. Okay, NXT, he's won that belt, but then he lost it to Kevin Owens. But overall, in terms of WWE main roster, one belt. IC title, and he lost that due to forfeit. He had to forfeit the title because he didn't feel like working during a pandemic. This ain't even right, man. I miss Sami Zayn, man. I miss Sami Zayn. I miss babyface Sami Zayn. I miss El Generico Sami Zayn. And I hope he comes back as a babyface, because this is ridiculous. Number 6. So number 6, I think this is what I will say about this guy. I'm almost certain when people start making, if anyone ever makes a top 10 wrestlers the WWE has ruined list, I can almost guarantee you this name will appear on 99.9999999% of the list. This is the kind of guy that, like others, if you take him to any other promotion, he'll be a main event player. But he had all the tools. He had all the resources to get over at WWE, and they just refused to book him. Not even like strong. They didn't even book him. It was the easiest layup, and they didn't even attempt to put it in the basket. Number 6 on my list is 3 letters. Well, 3 letters in a number. 2 letters in a number. E-C-3. Ethan Carter III. You got a man here with charisma for days. And ask me, when did he get the microphone on the main roster? He never got it. They made him a silent type. And then, for some reason, after he beat Dean Ambrose, they stopped booking him on the main roster. They just took him off TV. What is wrong? What is wrong? EC3 was one of those wrestlers that we all said, this is what WWE is looking for. Everything that you could want in a wrestler. He is jacked. He looks like a wrestler. He has good microphone skills. He has good in-ring psychology. He can have a good match with anybody. And he can put over literally anything, any kind of material you give to him. This is the one kind... This is like if the Houston Rockets, my team, got prime Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan in his prime. And then the NBA season starts. They play him for one game and then don't use him for the rest of the season. That's what happened in EC3. Now, the Michael Jordan comparison is a bit strong, but still. Like, they didn't even give him a shot. No microphone time, and every time he touched the main roster, he lost. He was a jobber. I don't get that. Like, it's almost like they didn't even want him to get over. They didn't want to let him have a chance to get over. So why did you call him up then? Why even call him up? Why not just leave him on the main roster? It just really baffled me. How, as Derek Bateman, when he first did the whole NXT run back in 2011? Is that 2011? Jesus, it was a long time ago. You know, it was a flop. You know, it wasn't really something that was gonna ever get him over, but you saw the potential there. And then he took that shit to TNA and donned Ethan Carr III. You can't wrestle, I disagree. You can't wrestle, I'm very good. You can't wrestle, I disagree. You can't wrestle, I'm very good. Well, trouble. Dude! Like, it did get to a point where I literally thought, and I think I'm safe saying this, I think they sabotaged him. It was a straight up sabotage. Why? Because they didn't create him. And I hate it. I thought it was wrong how horribly they booked him. Yeah. And imagine if they actually did book him strongly and they allowed him to be himself and they allowed him to get over naturally. I guarantee you he would be helping to carry these oh my goodness. I dare say he would be WWE's answer to MJF. He would be WWE's answer to MJF. But no, we can't have an MJF in WWE because they're trying to cater to old people! I mean, their highest demographic is 50 plus. So, just saying. But yeah, that's some BS. Ethan Carr III, EC3, should be a main event player. But out of the gate, they sabotaged him. Give him no microphone time. Have him lose all his matches. Why? I don't know. Because he didn't shake Vince's hand when he reached out to him. It's probably something stupid like that. But he got the hell out of there. He's back in Impact Wrestling, so hopefully things will turn out good for him in the future. Number 5. Number 5 is somebody.
In the world is
Damien Sandow.
Now we want to hear that amazing theme again.
Oh yeah. I'll be the top 1%. Watch them give that to Roman Reigns when he comes back. Anyways, number 5. Let's see, number 5 hurts my soul too, because I think when you first saw him debut on SmackDown in 2012, I think we all said to ourselves, oh, that's a main event player. And then when he was released, we just cried. We were just like, damn it. Number 5 on my list is the savior of the masses. The intellectual savior of the masses. Damien Sandow, a.k.a. Aaron Idol Stevens. This one hurts more than the other few because this man did everything right. I think about people like Damien Sandow and Braun Strowman, who did everything they were supposed to do. They were supposed to get heat, they got heat. They were supposed to have good promos, they had amazing promos. They were supposed to get the crowd to care. Oh, they got them to care. They were supposed to do all this stuff that they were, basically forced to do, whether it's stupid or, halfway decent. They did it, made the most out of it. Miz Dow, remember that? Him mimicking Miz, one of the best things about that goddamn show. Oh my goodness. Oh, I miss Miz Dow. Oh, that was a good gimmick. And Miz made it so good too. They were having so much fun. Anyways, when you have this man who can literally take anything you give him and make it work. Literally anything you give him and make it work. And then every opportunity to get him over, you shit the bed. Fails to cash in it against John Cena. Fails to win the IC title. Was he a tag team champ? Was he ever a champ? Wait, he won the tag team titles with Miz. Right, okay. But has he ever won a singles title? No, he's never won a singles title. Alright. You had someone, to me, that if you needed, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it. If you need a heel that could help make someone like a Roman Reigns, someone that can really, I say help Roman Reigns, but quite frankly, I think he might be too charismatic. But still, you have someone that can help put over baby faces, that can make anybody look good, that can sell a feud, sell a segment, do all that stuff, who was doing it at a main event level from day one, and then you do nothing with him? Damien Sandow was a main event player given to you on a silver platter. Literally. Now, all you had to do was just book him strong. And they decided to not do that. And I feel bad for him. Because he got over with doing everything that he possibly could, no matter how stupid it was, and it was just not good enough. And I hate it. I hate it, and I wish one day, if he does get a second chance, he comes back and knocks it out the park. But man, he really could have been something. Really, really could have been. Really could have been a champ, a main event player. So, the only thing that I feel that's, at least salvageable when it comes to his WWE run, besides the rose colors, I will say, if you go back and watch those first segments when he was the intellectual savior, and he was doing these questionnaires, the challenge the crowd questions. He'll ask two very simple questions, then ask one very hard one, and then completely annihilate them on the microphone. His microphone work, I don't give a damn what they did to him. You could not take away how amazing he was on the microphone. Silence! You couldn't. His microphone work is still, to this day, some of my favorite promos I've seen in the last decade. He's freaking amazing on the microphone. So, yeah, definitely should be number 5 on my list. People are talking about his TNA run. I didn't see him in TNA, so it is what it is. Number 4. I'm just going to show you number 4. And then we're all just going to groan together. Are you ready? Are you sure? Oh, well. Rusev. is just angering. Oh my God. Let me tell you why this gets on my nerves. So, Alexander Rusev, when he first came in, they gave him the Russian gimmick, the anti-American gimmick, which, let's just be real, was outdated. It was doomed to fail. This mofo, with Lana, by the way, was able to breathe some fucking life back into a dead gimmick. Because that's how good he was. Fans saw his talent, they saw how great he was, and they respectfully responded in kind. He was able to really make it work. The last bastion of the goddamn anti-American gimmick. He was the last one to make it work. Because of how good he is. So, when you had this guy killing it as a heel, you know what they did? Well, they did it multiple times. They do this love triangle bullshit. They just loved love triangles with Lana. I don't know why they just want to put Lana in love triangles. But those love triangles fucked Rusev up. They fucked him up. Oh my God. And it was so embarrassing that it hurts because he came out in a fucking tank. They gave him a tank. They gave him a tank at WrestleMania. Apparently he had sex in the tank. I don't know if that's true or not. But seriously, they gave him a tank. Guys, they gave him a tank. And then they treated him like crap, love triangles and stupid storylines, and then he got buried, and then they moved him to SmackDown. They're just like, look, this is where it really hurts. They told him, look, dude, we don't know what to do with you. The anti-American gimmick has run its course, so you do what you want. We don't know what you're gonna do. So they put him with Aiden English. And then this motherfucker did something that I thought was impossible. He came up with his own babyface gimmick. And all he did was just say Rusev Day. And he said every day was Rusev Day. And it blew up. It got so over. Man, when he came out as number one in the Royal Rumble in 2018, bro, like, you like, listen, like, even I was shocked at how over he was. I'm like, oh my God, this son of a bitch went from being one of the most hated villains to one of the most beloved babyface by himself. No one came up with Rusev Day but him. He did that. We're not going to talk about League of Nations. I erased that from my mind. It's gone. We're not talking about League of Nations. We're not. We're not talking about League of Nations. We're not. Sorry. But yeah, like, it hurt my soul when this man found his own babyface gimmick, got it over, sold out t-shirts, made millions doing so, and you know what they did? They kept him as a heel. They didn't turn him babyface. When the crowd was chanting Rusev Day, they had him telling the crowd to shut up, stop getting this over. When the gimmick was hot, when it was burning bright, they had him telling the crowd to shut up, going against the grain, and that killed his momentum. And it wasn't until his momentum died did they say, you know what, Rusev, you're a babyface now. Bring back Rusev Day. And then, next thing we know, they break up him and Aiden English, so there's just him and Lana now. And, oh my God, and then we get into 2019. With Rusev Bobby Lashley and Lana. Oh my god, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. Ah. You see Lana making out with Bobby Lashley. And then Rusev just stands there. Oh my god. And then they had him backstage at green screens. And then weddings. HLA with Liv Morgan. Oh my god. And then they do a match between him and Lashley where Lashley kicks Rusev's ass and Lashley takes his wife. And then Rusev loses the game. He loses his wife. You had him lose his wife. You had Rusev Day get canceled. And then they released him. Man, I almost want to just turn this video off. I want to turn it off so badly. I want to turn it off. Rusev got over on, like many others that could have been on this list and are on this list, got himself over. And they didn't want him to get over by himself. They hated the fact that Rusev Day got over as well as it did. Instead of just embracing it and going along with it, they said, nah, sorry, we don't want that. I don't like that. I don't care how over it is. What the fuck's wrong with them? That's how you know this company's out of touch. Who does that? Who does that? Who does that? Imagine if they had just wrote this out and let Rusev be the biggest babyface that he could possibly be. Probably could have been a world champ. Would definitely be one of the best babyfaces, if not the top babyface in the company right now. Right? Nope. Now he's gone. Now he's just Miro. I like Miro. But Miro's no longer wrestling. And I feel bad for Miro. Because when he was Rusev, he was a badass mother. Shut your mouth. Now he's just plays video game streams. It's okay. Make your money. Do what you want to do. But that's discouraging. Like that would make me not want to wrestle ever again either. I got myself over. I did everything you asked me to do. And I get punished for it. That sucks. That sucks, bro. Apparently Jake Paul is in the house. What's up, Jake Paul? What the hell, Jake Paul? Oh, hell nah. Oh, hell nah. You can take your little self that way to the exit, boy. Number 3. Number 3 is one of those guys that, look, as soon as I show it to you, you're just going to go, yeah. I'm not even going to say his name. I'm just going to say number 3. You ready? Number 3. Yeah. Let's move on. No. Dolph Ziggler. Damn it, did they fuck him over. And they're still fucking him over. And I think when it comes to Ziggler in 2020, he's accepted the fact that he's never going to be a main event player. He just knows that you're never going to treat me like a main event player. You're never going to push me like a main event player. You're just not. No matter how good I am. And I think he just decided, you know what? I'm just going to stop trying. Ziggler has taken up the Randy Orton mantle. Who just phones it in. The guy that just kind of phones it in, doesn't really bump as hard as he used to bump. I'm just going to go out there and just make some money. And then use that money for my other interests. But back in 2010, especially from like 2010 to about 14-ish, Ziggler, I dare say, was the top performer in the company because his bumps were legendary. His sales reminded me of Mr. Perfect in a good way. I was floored. Absolutely floored with the way he sold in his matches. I am. Go watch. Tell you what. Y'all can pause this video if y'all want, or you can put it on in the background while I'm talking. I want you to look this up on YouTube. Dolph Ziggler selling compilation. Watch his sales. Literally, Dolph Ziggler selling compilation. It's the first video that comes up. Watch it. Watch it. And you look at that man and you see the beauty. It was an art for him. But it wasn't just that. The guy had microphone skills. He had charisma for days. He could talk his ass off. Like, it was like, what the fizz? Now, to be fair, he did come in a time when, CM Punk was hot. And John Cena was still on top. But, man, to me, the year they ruined him was 2013. Now, he held that briefcase for a while. Quite frankly, I still believe he should have cashed in at WrestleMania 29. But him cashing in after WrestleMania still got to me one of the best moments in Raw history. When he cashed in against Del Rio, and then he celebrated. Oh, man. Oh, what a moment. What a moment. Like, that moment was so special. And let me tell you why it was special. Because he was a heel, and Del Rio was a face. But let me tell you why it was special. Fans, despite knowing he was a heel, knows how good this guy is. Knew how hard he worked and how much shit he had to eat to get to that point in his career. We all was just like, give him a championship. You got all these guys winning 10, 5, 15, 20, 25, 100, 1,000 championships. Let Ziggler hold the belt once. Now, he did hold the belt like for 20 minutes. I don't count that. When he finally won that world title, oh my God, what a moment that was. What a moment that was. Then they gave it back to Del Rio. And to me, this is once again WWE's incompetence just getting the better of them. You have someone like Ziggler who organically got over with your audience. Like Braun Strowman, like Rusev, like many other. And he got over through what he did inside the ring, through his performance. And it baffles me to this day that you look at someone like Dolph Ziggler, who really, let's just call it like it is, he's phoning it in. In 2020, he is phoning it in. You want to know why he's phoning it in? Because why try? Why try? When he was putting his heart and soul into these matches and hurting himself, they told him, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop being good. You're too good. And what I love about Ziggler back then is that he would relish in that. He's like, well, they're telling me I'm being too good, so I'm going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? But because he kept doing it, they kept booking him to lose. He just kept losing his matches. They're like, okay, you can keep bumping all you want. You're going to lose. So then he stopped bumping his heart, and I think once he realized, fine, I'm going to do whatever you want me to do, then he started winning. But it sucked because the day he listened to them was the day they ruined him. The day that he stopped being crash test dummy Dolph Ziggler with the smart mouth and the show-off personality was the day that he stopped being a main event player to me.
Where in the world is
Damien Sandow.
I think Ziggler got concussed during the title run.
Well, he had a small concussion, yeah, but he still, he was still able to come back and do a lot of things that made him popular. So I don't know. I feel like for me, he had a drought period from 2014 to about 2016 till he got to SmackDown, and he had that face-off with Dean Ambrose, and they gave him a microphone. He showed a little bit of fire, and the crowd popped. And then he transitioned that into a feud with The Miz. Easily one of the best feuds of 2016. His feud with The Miz was amazing. Amazing matches with him and Miz. You want to know why? Because Ziggler was selling his ass off. Then he won the IC title and lost it back to The Miz, and then it was over. He stopped being relevant. And they turned him heel. And then he attacked Jerry the King Lawler, who recently had a heart attack. And then that was it. That was it for him. We never he never recovered. He never recovered after that. Then it was like a random tag team with Drew McIntyre, and then he just became everybody's whipping boy. He had a title match against Kofi Kingston, got his ass kicked. It's just one of those things where you call in Ziggler if you need someone to lose a match. He is the glorified enhancement talent when he could have been a main attraction. He could have been literally carrying both your shows right now. And you want to know why I still say that? Because Ziggler on Raw Underground, when he was doing the amateur wrestling stuff, I watched that and I went, that's the best he's ever looked. He's looked in years. That's the best he's ever looked in 2020, but he's looked... He hasn't looked that good in years. Because he's not motivated. And an unmotivated Dolph Ziggler is the worst kind of Dolph Ziggler. A man that could be a main event player is just an average guy on the roster. And that's sad. It's sad. Number 2. I think we all know what number 2 is. Well, we can speculate what number 2 is. I'm just going to say one thing, and you'll know exactly who it is. He's Swiss. Bam. You know exactly who number 2 is. Cesaro. Claudio Castagnoli, whatever you want to call him. I gotta be sure I read my mind here.
Ziggler hit every move under the sun on McIntyre at and got beat by one Claymore. That says it all.
That says it all. It says it all, my friends. It says it all. I agree with the Scrabble King has a point. Any other wrestling promotion, any company would make Cesaro a main event player. He has all the tools. All the tools. All of them. He looks like a wrestler. He can do different styles inside the ring. Powerhouse, technical, high flying, fast paced, slow. He can do it all. His microphone skills are a little rough for the English department, but he can do 7 languages and speak fluently in all of them. You have a man that at one point was going to get the rocket ship push with Paul Heyman, right? And we all kind of figured that was not a good idea, because why would you take a man that fans will organically get behind as a babyface and put him with a heel manager? I hate that shit. And then when the fans were getting behind him and cheering him, I forgot when it happened, but it was with the tag team with Tyson Kidd. Like, they didn't know what to do with him. He was in a tag team with Tyson Kidd, and he started doing the big swing. And then he did it to, didn't he do it to Khali at one point? But that big swing started getting the biggest pops of the night. And so they just said, look, we gotta create new stars. John Cena, who do you want to create? John Cena chose Cesaro. Cesaro gave John Cena 2 of the best matches of his entire career in 2015. And those 2 matches shot him straight to the top. And I told myself, y'all need to... 2015 was their chance to make him a main event player. That boy came out in a goddamn Terminator suit. Black suit with glasses. Man, they really could have made him a main event player. But they didn't. You know what they did instead? They put him in a tag team with Sheamus. We don't just set the bar, we are the bar! Which was dumb, because it started off with them having a feud, best out of 7 series, and then at the end of the series, Mick Foley said, "You should be a tag team." And I'm like, no, they shouldn't. But they were. And they lasted for like years. So people forgot about Cesaro. I'm thinking about his matches on NXT. Those matches he had with Sami Zayn and William Regal. Oh, God, he was so good. But it baffles me that when they broke up the bar, I was thinking, yes, singles push for Cesaro. Now, they put him with Nakamura and Sami Zayn. They don't see him as a main event player. They see him as a tag team specialist. Jesus Christ. Jesus H. Christ. What is wrong with Vince? On Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast, when Stone Cold himself,
San Diego.
Cesaro looked like a James Bond villain in 2016.
an awesome James Bond villain, mind you, but yes. Stone Cold Steve Austin himself went on his podcast with Vince McMahon and asked Vince to his face, what is the deal with Cesaro? And Vince was like, oh, I don't know. He's not getting over. He's not getting over. It's probably because he's Swiss. He should be a real American. Oh my God. What bothers me most about all of this, despite his thank you for explaining.
And I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Well, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord.
But Alyx, don't you know? He has a Swiss style that doesn't connect with the audience even. Though he typically has the best matches. God damn it, Vince.
What bothers me most about Cesaro is the fact that we all know that when he leaves and goes to any wrestling promotion, whether it's New Japan or AEW, he's going to be a main event player, right? It doesn't seem like he wants to leave. That's what bothers me. I think he likes where he is. I think he likes being in WWE, making money. And I think he's going to do the whole, well, I'm going to wait until Vince wants to push me. It's never going to come. That's what bothers me. It's just, this guy has so much passion for WWE and is such a team player. He doesn't really understand that the way to get to Vince is to prove that you can survive without him. When you do the whole, well, I'm going to wait my turn, that's telling Vince, well, you really can't survive without me, can you? If Cesaro was to one day say, look, my contract is expiring on this day, I'm not re-signing until I get better booking. Guarantee you, within seconds, they'll be like, I'm sorry, my Swiss lord. Yeah, because they don't want to lose Cesaro to anybody. They won't book him like a main event player, but they will not let him go. They will fight anyone. Fight anyone to get Cesaro. They'll fight your mamas, your daddies, your sisters, your brothers, your aunties, your uncles. They'll fight anybody. Your nieces, your nephews, your cousins. They'll fight them all to get Cesaro. But he has to want to be better. Right now, I kind of feel like he's just going through the motions like Ziggler. If he demands better, I feel like without question, he'd be a main event player by now. He'd be killing it. But it's just sucks because he's just broken by the system, man. Broken by the system. Last but not least, this one, I went back and watched his debut on NXT in 2016. I remember watching him come out to fight Sami Zayn. NXT TakeOver, if I'm not mistaken, Dallas. To remind me about that. And I won't say that I cried, but let's just say I swelled up a little bit when I saw him walk up on that stage, and he got a massive reaction from the American audience. Now he barely gets a reaction. Number one on my list is the wrestler who was handed to them, who was handed to WWE as a main event player, and they managed to screw him up. Everybody else, they didn't come in as main event players. They had to work for themselves. They wasn't already established. Nakamura was already over. He was already established. He was already very famous. And they screwed him up. So there you go. Number 1 is Shinsuke Nakamura. Number 1. This man came in, won the Rumble, beat John Cena, and beat Randy Orton. Had an excellent run for the NXT title. On NXT, got so popular that his merchandise was outselling people on the main roster while he was in NXT. Incredible how that works. Touches the main roster and gets his ass handed to him by Jinder Mahal. Fast forward to WrestleMania 34. Got his ass handed to him by AJ, and then he became Mr. Nutshot. Just Mr. Nutshot. And he just kept nut-shotting AJ. Like, he just kept doing it. And then, you know, you had an opportunity for him to beat AJ. That didn't happen. Instead, Nakamura lost. Both times to AJ. And they gave him the US belt. And that was alright. I just think, for me, it hurts. It hurts for me because I went back and watched his run in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And you see that this man was a goddamn megastar. He was a megastar. A legit celebrity in Japan. That's how over he was. Yeah. He was a phenomenon in that country. Such a phenomenon that his reputation spread across here in America. He gets over so easily. Got over so easily with the fans that appreciate him and love him for what he is. And it's incredible. It's incredible to me that when they initially started pushing Nakamura, he was getting some of the biggest reactions of the entire show. And they, you know, had him lose to Jinder Mahal. That killed his momentum. But then he won the Royal Rumble, got a big reaction. Then he didn't beat AJ Styles, and you're just like, oh, God. And it was never the same after that. He was never the same after that. I didn't forget what else he did following that. They gave him Sami Zayn as a manager. Oh, Jesus Christ.
San Diego.
Remember when people were singing his theme song?
Whoa. Yeah, I remember his theme song. Now you can't even do that no more because they changed it. How do you screw up someone that was already a main event player? How? He was already there. He was made. This was like WCW getting a Stone Cold Steve Austin or getting a Rock. You here? Just use him as he is.
And I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Well, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord.
Just wanna say he has one world title reign of being a Grand Slam, just saying.
You do know that Dolph Ziggler is a Grand Slam champ, right? Being a Grand Slam champ doesn't mean anything if you've been booked like shit. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, he's one title away from being a Grand Slam champ, but let's be real here. These belts don't matter. Ooh.
Great discussion. Victory hand medium dark skin tone. Victory hand medium dark skin tone.
thank you. Thank you so much. It's just, to me, when you have Nakamura do his thing, it's baffling how WWE doesn't see him as a main event player when he was literally that. And they have him floundering in the mid-cards, winning just random titles that don't mean anything.
And I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Well, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord.
I am literally playing Unbreak My Heart by Tony Braxton because I am that sad.
Yeah. And by
I
the
will
way,
never forgive WWE for ruining Nakamura.
I agree with you. Thank you, Gabriel. By the way, Beef, what's your name? Beef Anil, close enough. Biff, however you want to say your name. Yes, I compared him to Rock and Austin because that's how over he was in Japan. He was Rock Austin levels over. He was that over in Japan. When he came out and did that whole, boy, it was over. So yes, I did compare him to Rock and Austin. I did. Because that's how over he was. He was Rock and Austin levels over in Japan. And anyone else that knows his career will believe me on that. Boy. Biff. Don't come in here talking about some, you can't compare him to Rock and Austin. Boy. Do your research. You'll know how over he was. And the fact that this man, who was, and it's crazy to me that he was over in WWE. He got over on NXT. So over that he was outselling people on the main roster. Then they got him to the main roster and screwed him up. And now he's stuck in the mid-cards in a random tag team with Cesaro of all people. Both of those men should be main eventing the shows right now. Both of them. Instead of just floundering in mid-card hell as tag team champs. It's ridiculous. Absolute trash. Absolute garbage. I cannot believe WWE did this man dirty. I can't believe it. I can't. Nakamura should be in the main event scene. He should have won that. I honestly believe, yeah, he should have won that title at WrestleMania. AJ could have gotten it back. But Nakamura should have won the title. Should have been his moment. Alright. He's no longer going to be able... I'm scared now that if they tried to push him, would it still work? He might have to leave. I think we're at that point now where Nakamura needs to leave. He needs to go ahead and go back to Japan. Maybe he won't because he's probably thinking, my career's on his last legs anyways. How old is Nakamura? Okay, Google. How old is... Okay, Google. How old is Shinsuke Nakamura? 40 years old. He's 40, y'all. He's 40. He might be done. That's why he's staying. He's like, look, I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this. This is crazy. Yeah, man, this is sad. This is a sad state of affairs that you had someone who could have done some great things for your company. And then you decided to ruin them. Now he's just a mid-carder. And probably won't get it all back until he goes back to Japan. Which, honestly, if he was to go back to Japan, he would still be a megastar. It's just here in America, thanks because of WWE, he will never be seen that way again. So I hate it. I hate it. I really do. I think it's a travesty what they've done to him. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my top 10 list. So just to recap, ladies and gentlemen, what the hell? Oh, thank you.
You think the heel turn for Shinsuke a mistake? Or could that have been okay as long as he was world champ?
Like, if he had cheated to win the belt, it would have been okay. It would have been fine, and then AJ could have got the belt back. Like, they needed to establish him as a main event player. That was the way to do it. But just to recap, in case you guys are new, or you're not new, but you got here late. My top 10 are the following. Number 10, Chad Gable. Don't call him Shorty G. Chad Gable. Number 9, Ricochet. Number 8, Cody Rhodes. Number 7, Sami Zayn. Number 6, EC3. Number 5, Damien Sandow. Number 4, Rusev Day Machka. Number 3, Dolph Ziggler. Number 2, Cesaro. And number 1 is Shinsuke Nakamura. That is my top 10 list of wrestlers that WWE has ruined over the past 10 decades who could have been main event players right now. So now I give it to you, live chat. Go if. I wonder what you guys will say about this. I'm very curious to know what y'all have to say are the, how do you say, the people that WWE ruined. I'm very curious. The Atomic Bomber says, I want Keith Lee to stay in NXT. Me too, because I don't trust him. The MW Network. Nakamura can go back to New Japan and work. God damn it, this is going too fast. Hold on, I thought that was a good comment. Nakamura can go back to New Japan and work New Japan Strong USA brand. Kenta is doing just that currently. New Japan US Cup Finals with David Finlay. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Dynamic J thought. Finn Balor isn't ruined. Going to NXT was his choice. There you go. I agree. That's why he's not in my top 10. Razor, what about Zack Ryder? Zack Ryder was definitely ruined by WWE. I just feel like, for me, even if he did get a strong push, he wouldn't be much of a attraction in 2020. I feel like his gimmick would have ran his course in 2014 anyways. Sadly. But yeah, he did get ruined by WWE. Biff. Shelton Benjamin should be a top player. Yes. He should definitely won that world title. Should have definitely won it. Now, it's kind of late to push him, but who knows? Chase Gaming, Sonya Deville tweeted something. Did she? I'll have to read it to make sure she's doing okay. Let's see here. Quentin, that's crazy that wrestlers have to leave WWE to get the main event push they deserve. Watch, they have to leave and then come back for them to get the main event push. Look at Drew McIntyre. Al's Variety. Oh, he gave me his list. So give me your list, guys. Chad Gable, Jason Jordan, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, The Nexus. Ooh, so Wade Barrett. Cesaro, Rusev, Natalya, Wade Barrett, and Zack Ryder. Alright, fair enough. I'm not against that. Are you against that? I'm not against that. Let me find Sonya Deville's tweet. I see that chat right here.
And I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Well, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord.
I thought WWE screwed Apollo Crews up when he got brought up to the main roster. Hasn't been the same since he left NXT.
He really hasn't. It's Apollo Crews. I won't say he's ruined yet, but they have really fucked him over. By the way, everyone go show some love to Sonya Deville, who recently who almost got kidnapped by an obsessed fan today, earlier this morning. She's doing fine, so go show her some love on Twitter if you can, and Instagram too. I'm just tweeting her real quick. So glad you're okay. I did a stream about it before this one. You want details on that? Just watch it. Just watch it after this is done. Emmalina. Emma. I miss Emma. Neville. They fucked over Neville. He really could have been something special for them. Did they ruin Cedric Alexander? Oh yeah. Young Deku says S-A-W-T soft. Yeah, Enzo and Big Cass definitely was ruined when they got to the main roster. I agree with you on that. They definitely screwed them over. Without question. Without question. Let's see here. Ricochet, just like Nakamura, could be major action movie star. WWE don't want to make superstars with more power than the company. They refuse to curate star power like The Rock. Yeah, sadly enough. Because those guys can definitely be those top level superstars. Jason Jordan. I wish that was. Jordan Williams. The next best thing. Sami Zayn, Neville, The Ascension, Asuka, Ricochet, Apollo Crews, Bo Dallas, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura. I like that list, actually. The Ascension is the only one where I go, really? But, okay. Ember Moon. Oh, yeah. Ember Moon. Poor girl got hurt, though. Yeah, be sure you're writing these lists down in the comment section, guys. I really want you to post these lists down in the comment section. And by the way, one more time, happy birthday to Firestar Hart. My boy Firestar Hart is turning 50 years old. No, I'm joking. He's not turning 50. Happy birthday to him. I wanted to see if he's still here. Have no fear, Jake Paul is here. Nakamura, Kevin Owens, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Rusev, Dolph Ziggler, Bray Wyatt, Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Cody Rhodes. Alright, fair enough. Remember the Sandow segment with The Rock? There was a Sandow segment with The Rock? Wait a minute. I remember a Sandow segment with DX. Damien Sandow. Wait. Damien Sandow and The Rock. Wow! That's right, Team Rose Scholars and The Rock. I might have to rewatch that. Talk about Oldberg versus... No, I'm not talking about Oldberg. I don't like Oldberg. I like Goldberg, but I hate Oldberg. Let's see here. Bo Dallas, best heel champion NXT ever had. Oh, yeah. Can't disagree with that. Alright, guys. Look, I'm tired. I love y'all, but I'm going to have to leave y'all alone. Down below in the comments, give me all of the people you feel are mistreated, don't get enough, any kind of attention. Give me your top 10. But that's my broadcast for you. We got a week of broadcasts coming up. We got the Raw review tomorrow. We have my preview for NXT TakeOver and SummerSlam on Wednesday. And then we got my SmackDown review on Friday, because that's a live SmackDown. And then Saturday and Sunday are reviews. NXT TakeOver 30 is Saturday. Sunday is SummerSlam. I will be doing a very special preview that you don't want to miss on Wednesday. Because I'll be doing, be hyping up the return of Super Chat Mania. Plus a special prize that I'll be giving away. So you don't want to miss SummerSlam this Sunday. Okay? Thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate y'all being here. I'll see you guys next time, right here in Alyx's World. You guys take it easy. I'm out. Peace.